Isaiah is the first book in a section known as the Major Prophets. The first 39 chapters of Isaiah take place during the time of the events of the second half of the book of 2 Kings. The book of Isaiah is not presented in chronological order. The book opens with the words, "The vision concerning Judah and Jerusalem that Isaiah son of Amoz saw during the reigns of Uzziah, Jotham, Ahaz, and Hezekiah, kings of Judah." The book of Isaiah can be divided into different sections according to different theories of authorship. Chapters 1 through 39 are thought to be pre-exilic and are known as 1st Isaiah, and chapters 40 through 66 are thought to be exilic and are known as 2nd Isaiah. Other scholars divide them into 3 sections, 1st, 2nd, and 3rd Isaiah, with pre-exilic 1st Isaiah again making up chapters 1 through 39, but then exilic 2nd Isaiah making up chapters 40 through 55, and post-exilic 3rd Isaiah making up chapters 56 through 66. The opening chapters of Isaiah deal with Judah's rebellion against the covenant they made with God, but God plans to redeem his people living on his holy mountain of Zion, or Jerusalem, and through them to spread his law to all the nations of the world, and there will be no more wars. We then hear about the day of the Lord, which is described as a day of judgment, terror, and destruction. Isaiah says people will flee to caves in the rocks and to holes in the ground from the fearful presence of the Lord and the splendor of his majesty when he rises to shake the earth. Isaiah then talks about the coming judgment on Jerusalem and Judah. He says that God is going to cut off the leaders of his people who have abused their positions of authority. Also, God is going to judge the women of Judah who trusted in their beauty and jewelry. In chapter 4, Isaiah describes the branch of the Lord. He says that a branch will arise from the line of David, and he will serve as God's instrument to bring in God's kingdom on earth. The next section contains the son of the vineyard. God's people are described as a vineyard, and God took good care of his vineyard, but his vineyard produced sour grapes. The point here is that despite God's care, Judah insisted on following a destructive path. After this comes a pronouncement of woes and judgments. Isaiah says, "Woe to those who selfishly increase their estates at the expense of others. God will make their estates worthless. Woe to those who live only to get drunk. They will be too drunk to understand the destruction surrounding them. Woe to those who put God to the test. They mistake God's patience for lack of power to judge. Woe to those who call good evil and evil good. They do so only to justify themselves. Woe to those who are wise in their own eyes. God will humble them. Woe to those who take away the rights of the defenseless. God will call another nation to consume them and carry them away." In chapter 6, we hear the story of Isaiah's commission. He writes, "In the year that King Uzziah died, I saw the Lord, high and exalted, seated on a throne, and the train of his robe filled the temple. Woe to me, I cried, I am ruined, for I am a man of unclean lips, and I live among a people of unclean lips, and my eyes have seen the King, the Lord Almighty." Then one of the seraphim flew to me with a live coal in his hand, which he had taken with tongs from the altar. With it he touched my mouth and said, "See, this has touched your lips. Your guilt is taken away and your sin atoned for." Then I heard the voice of the Lord saying, "Whom shall I send, and who will go for us?" And I said, "Here am I, send me."